Hi, I'm Bryant, and today I'm going to teach you how to create a trust fund. And the way you create a trust fund is a three-step process. First, we got to create a trust agreement. Second, the trust must be funded. And third, the trust needs to be ultimately settled. And let's go through each point. So first is creating the trust agreement. That should be done with an attorney, and you discussing with your attorney how you want the trust set up in terms of who's in charge of the trust, when you're well, who's in charge if you're incapacitated, who's in charge if you pass away. So that's one key point. Another key point would be who gets what and when. So who are your beneficiaries? When do they get full access to the money, if they get full access to money? And those key points. Three, on creating the agreement, you want to look at if you have any special goals you want to protect against. Do you have a beneficiary who has special needs? Are you trying to reduce your estate tax bill, potentially? Do you have kids who are spendthrifts? Do you have kids who have in-laws, spouses that you do not like? Those are the type of issues that you want to have a part of your trust agreement. So once you create the trust agreement, the next step after you sign it is to fund it. So how do you fund the trust agreement? That's the process involved. It can be with an attorney, can be with an attorney supervising. You can do it as well. So when you're looking for an attorney, you want to ask whether or not those services are included in the price and how the attorney handles the funding. The funding is one of the biggest problems that occur when somebody sets up a trust and it's not right. So if you create the best trust in the world and the assets are not funded into the trust, then the trust ultimately, if it's a living trust, does not work. So the assets need to be funded into the trust. And funding it is a matter of changing ownership on assets. So that's moving bank accounts to a new account with the trust name in it, changing ownership of life insurance annuities, using a deed to transfer property. Those type of things should be handled with the attorney that you're working with in creating the trust, and giving oversight about that and what goes in the trust and so forth and how to do it. Now point three is settling it. So once the trust is funded and set up and running, part of the advice of working with attorneys is explaining, once it's officially done, how are things going to go from here on out. But mostly the ultimate part of creating a trust fund is what happens with the money when you pass away. And so when it comes to the settling portion, the attorney can supervise the splitting of the accounts into separate trust funds for whomever your beneficiaries are. So yes, the trust fund can be created for you immediately, or it could be created for your beneficiaries after you pass away. So I hope that helps.